We quickly established quite good, sort of chatty relationships with the staff, which was great. There were opportunities on offer. There was a psychologist on the ward who had a parents' coffee morning every Tuesday. We made an effort to go to that, not because I wanted to meet the other parents on the ward, but actually she and the other nurses would tell us about babies that they'd seen before, babies like ours. They'd say, oh, I've cared for a 25-weeker before, I've cared for a 24-weeker before. They'd all share their stories, and it was only listening to their stories, and my question was always, how are they? Are they alive? What happened? That I started to realise that prem babies do survive and they do have lives. And at first I couldn't imagine him ever getting out of his incubator. One of the things that was really helpful when it first happened, and I was terribly upset and I thought it was my fault, and they told me I'd probably eaten something to give him the infection that he had. It turned out, a lot of investigations later, it turned out that wasn't the case, but they thought maybe I'd eaten some cheese. Lots of people had different opinions about why it might have happened, and I was terribly distressed. And one of the older, very experienced nurses, I was in a wheelchair at the time because I just had a cesarean, and she just showed me, there's a long, long corridor, and it was full of pictures of the other babies, and for the next few weeks, every time I was just thinking, this can't go on, he's not going to make it, he can't do it, this is too much for him to fight, he's got too many things against him. I had to go out and I had to look at these pictures, and they weren't just pictures of babies, they were particularly pictures of prem babies, and they would say, this is James, he was born at 25 weeks, he was in hospital for 18 weeks, and they'd show you pictures, this is his first bath, this is the first time he had his mask off, and then they'd say, here he is, he's 3. It's just seeing babies that lived was just amazing for me.